Mining scandal triggers calls from some MPs for the prosecution of Interior Minister as fresh documents reveal that several of the arrested Chinese illegal miners had Interior Ministry's permit.
Why should he partner a foreigner in his company to do small-scale mining? That is against the law. So even that man, the MD for Hanson, the owner, whatever he is, and then the Minister of Interior who took that action should be arrested and prosecuted.
Tonight we'll hear from President Mahama, who has been justifying last week's arrest of 125 illegal Chinese miners.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Top Story is brought to you by Bond Financial Services. Your success, our passion. Belacra Mineral Water, the new generation mineral water. It's also brought to you by Lifebuoy, still 100% better germ protection, as well as Blue Rose Limited, shelter for all. It's a mining scandal that has now led to calls by some members of parliament for a swift investigation and prosecution of the Interior Minister. Now, documents intercepted by Joy News indicate that several of the 125 Chinese nationals arrested last week for engaging in illegal small-scale mining had legal documents secured from the Interior Ministry, allowing them to work in the mines. The permits were granted by the Interior Ministry's Quota Committee in 2010. Today, President Mahama justified the arrest of the Chinese, but questions are now being asked as to why the Interior Ministry will grant permits to these so-called illegal Chinese miners and then turn around 2 years down the line to arrest them. We will shortly hear from a member of Parliament's Mines Committee who is demanding the prosecution of the Interior Minister over the matter. But first, my colleague Elton John Brobe has been studying those documents and he joins me in the studio. What exactly are these documents telling us?
Well, I'm sure you are aware that last week we carried a story about the arrest of 120 illegal Chinese miners in various mining communities around the country, especially in the Ashanti region. Now, 23 of those Chinese arrested who are awaiting deportation to their home country worked with Hanso Mining Company Limited. So we went behind the scenes to, as it were, establish the true facts. Now, what we have gathered so far indicates that Hanso Mining Company, which is Bernard Mchibuese, is the chairman of the Ghana-China Chamber of Business, is actually the CEO for this particular company, Hanso Mining Company Limited, applied to the Interior Ministry for approval so that he could bring in some Chinese professionals to help him in his small-scale mining business. Information I have, or the document I have managed to secure, primarily gives approval for his request. Now,
give us the details.
Yeah, and this is dated 17 June 2010.
On a letterhead of the Interior Ministry.
Of the Interior Ministry, Republic of Ghana. Immigration Quota, Hanso Mining Ghana Limited. Now, it says, I'm directed to inform you that after careful consideration of your application, 10 quotas have been granted for your company to cover the following positions, subject to review after 3 years. 6 mining engineers, 2 mechanical engineers, and 2 electrical engineers. You are advised to recruit suitably qualified Ghanaians and train them to take over from the expatriate as soon as possible. So going by this particular document, the mining company, Hanso Mining, have up to June 2013 for this particular approval to expire.
Who signed this?
This is signed by Member Secretary, Immigration Quota Committee, Samuel Amankwa, and is addressed to the Managing Director, Hanso Mining Ghana Limited.
Now, we've also seen passports of some of these Chinese. What do we know from them?
I've been scanning through 5 of such documents, and indeed, if you look at this one particular I'm holding, this is a passport belonging to Tan Winghu from China. Now, on the other side of the passport is more or less a document authorizing his stay in Ghana for Hanso Mining Limited, and the person has been given a 1-year permit to stay and work in the country. This particular document expires on the 27th of November 2013. So going by this document, it is clear that our own, agency is responsible for, facilitating the stay of foreigners in this country, actually agreed that the Chinese nationals whom the Hansol Mining Company applied for their permit to be regularized, were actually given
the permit to stay and work in the mines. And now we know that 23 of them were part of the 125 arrested last week. Thank you very much, Elton, for those fascinating details. While a member of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Edward Enning, who is also the MP for Obuasi East, an area affected by illegal mining, is now calling for the prosecution of the Interior Minister and the Managing Director of the Hansol Mining Ghana Limited for violating the country's laws. Listen.
According to the mining law, the law that we have in this country, small-scale mining are meant for only locals, Ghanaians, and not expatriates or foreigners. So I'm surprised for an Interior Minister to issue such a letter to a Chinese who's a foreigner to operate in Ghana in a small-scale mining. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. So what I will say here is that I think the president, after getting to know this content, the content in this letter, should call that minister who was there to book. I mean, that minister should be punished for that, because it's about time that Ghana we have to respect the laws that we have. Because an Interior Minister, the police service, the prison service, the immigration service, they are all under you, and you behave this way. It's very bad, very, very bad.
So as a member of the Committee on Mines and Energy, has this formally come to your attention at all?
At all, and it's unfortunate we are on recess. But what I'm going to do now is to draw the chairman of the committee attention, so that immediately the committee will decide what to do. I think I will inform the chairman about this incident, that this is what has happened, and I think the committee, even though we are on recess, should find a way to meet and deal with this situation.
In the meantime, last week, all the Chinese were again arrested. Now, the Ghanaian owner of the company is challenging the state. He's actually now writing a petition to the IGP to get his people released.
The Hansol company managing director himself should be arrested, because he knows that the law doesn't permit that. Why should he partner a foreigner in his company to do small-scale mining? That is against the law. So even that man, the MD for Hansol, the owner, whatever he is, and then the Minister of Interior who took that action should be arrested and prosecuted.
And if that is not done?
I think the committee, this is very new to us, and we are on recess, and I believe when Parliament resume, this kind of thing will definitely, some of us will either put in a form of question or in a motion for whoever in charge to come and answer.
Your own area is also affected by these illegal small-scale mining businesses?
Yeah, seriously. As I'm speaking to you, there are a lot of soldiers in the country taking charge, because the Galamsey, the kind of, the way they operate in the area, everybody is scared. So these days, I think the soldiers and the police are now there trying to manage, control affairs. So as I'm speaking to you, the mining companies have brought in all these kind of security people to protect the company and protect the citizens as well. So this thing, if you don't stop it earlier, it will go to create a lot of problem for not only people who live in the mining communities, but the country as a whole, the whole country as a whole.
Now, we will shortly be joined on the line by the Managing Director of Hansol Mining Ghana Limited. But first, we understand that the Ghana Immigration Service is preparing an official response to the issues raised in the Hansol Mining Ghana Limited documents. Once that statement comes out, we will bring you the details. Meanwhile, President Mahama has been speaking today about the arrest of the Chinese miners. He justified the arrest, explaining that Ghana was simply enforcing its laws. Take a listen.
There have been a few issues, but I think that there are issues that do not affect the relationship between our two countries. And I'm sure that recently I spoke with the Chinese ambassador about it. And we've had some few problems in small-scale mining. But like I said, we should not stereotype and targets of prejudice. The thing is, we have laws that need to be obeyed, and it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's an Eskimo or it's a Nigerian or it's a Chinese or it's whatever. It's not about who it is or what the race is. It is about what the law says and how we implement it. And so I'll urge that we don't stereotype when we do this kind of thing. I think that in the diplomatic relations between Ghana and China, we have enough space in which to resolve some of these issues that we're confronted with. So let me once again thank the delegation for coming and to assure our Chinese friends that our relationship remain on solid grounds and that we'll continue to work together, to move that relation to.
Now, President Mahama there speaking at the Flagstaff House during a visit by the Ghana-China Friendship Association. We can now speak to the Managing Director of the Hansol Mining Ghana Limited, who is also the Chairman of the Ghana-Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Bernard Nchuboisiako. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Top Story. So these documents, they are your documents, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have argued that the arrest of the Chinese workers in your company was illegal because of these documents. But I ask you, did you secure these documents legally yourself?
Of course, you have the date and you have the signature and you have the name. You see, it's the signature and the date and the name will tell you either it's legal or no legal. I heard about he said he's a chairman for a minerals commission, or
he's a member. He's a member of Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee.
You see, once you read the minerals commission law, article paragraph second page, paragraph B. Okay, he said that once we give you mine support, I own a mine support services. I told you from day one, I have mine support company. I'm the only Ghanaian who have a mine support company. Once you have a mine support company, it allows you to bring the expatriate to work for you. So no Chinese, I'm repeating it, no Chinese is engaging or working as a mining sector, but they are providing services according to the license I'm holding. It's the same thing the last 8 people are having.
Okay, hold on. Let's establish this. Let's establish this before we go on. The Interior Ministry documents we have gave you the permission to bring in only 10 Chinese workers based on the documents we have seen. How come as many as 23 Chinese nationals were arrested from your company alone?
Let me tell you, once we talk about quota, quota is like in America they will say maybe green card. Okay, quota is different from working permit. Working permit normally they give 1 year in Ghana. Then you will renew it yearly.
But they give you 3 years. They give you 3 years to renew, which will expire in June this year.
Listen, this is the difference between quota and the working permit. So that is why I'm explaining to you. Okay, look, the quota is you have 3 years to have the quota. But the working permit is, you see, the migration is, their laws is very simple. They are only there as a security agency to make sure some people are coming in or some people are going. Or people who are in also, you need a permit to stay or go. You see, so if you are a company, register the company, you are legitimate this thing and you go there, you put all your documents there. Look, it's up to the migration people to grant you this thing or give you a reason. That one, then I'll give it to the lawyer. Says not me.
Okay, I understand the point you're making, but I also understand that you are writing to the IGP.
Of course, I have to, because once there is no law, there is no sin. So we have a limit and we have the difference about the distance. So once you think you are not happy into the distance, you see, Ghana is 56 years now.
But you had the member of parliament say
you cannot. Sorry?
But you had the member of parliament say that you brought in these people to work in small-scale mining. That is illegal. You must be prosecuted yourself.
No, you don't know. That is why I mentioned I have a service support mining. What about the last 8 people? What about the people? I said I mentioned something called service support mining. Look, let me tell you, I'm not the only Ghanaian who is using the Chinese people or using the experts or using. We have Americans working, we have Russians, we have Danish, we have the Nigerians, we have so many Chinese people working.
Quickly, the distinction between those mines and yours is that those are large-scale mines, yours is a small-scale one, and foreigners are not allowed in small-scale mining.
Listen, that is why I quoted the license I'm holding. Listen, we make the laws to help us. Why? So in our country, are we saying in our country we don't want to let somebody to start stealing from small to big? You see, Yahoo is 17 years. But look at what he's doing.
Okay, I know this is a sensitive subject, and we'll keep a close eye on that. We just ran out of time. We are waiting for a statement from the Immigration Service to be given assurances that this statement will be out shortly. Once it's out, we'll listen and get the details from that and share it with the rest of the public. But that's all time allows on this subject. That's we are watching very close. You want to join us on Newsnight? We're watching for that statement to come out from the Immigration Service, responding to the many issues that have been put out there by the Managing Director of Hansol, who's also the chairman of the Ghana China Chamber of Commerce. This is a key thing we'll be watching. Also, we understand that a meeting between UTAG and the Fair Wages Commission has ended inconclusively. But what is happening across the country in the various universities? You want to join us on Newsnight in 15 minutes as we delve into that also on the program on radio. My name is Evan Spencer. This has been Top Story, brought to you by Bond Financial Services, also brought to you by Belacqua Mineral Water, also by Lifebuoy and Blue Rose Limited.